Oh, hey! I didn't know you'd be stopping by. Let me just, there we go. Hi, I'm Zom-B. I'm a lot of things. A gamer, a musician, the family disappointment. But do you know what else I am? I'm a huge, huge fan of horror. Horror movies, horror games, horror novels. I usually tend to gravitate towards anything paranormal, true crime, and just, in general, spooky-ooky. That being said, I've watched a lot of horror movies in my life, and sometimes I just can't help thinking, I could totally survive this. Now, don't get me wrong, I'm not exactly the smartest, the strongest, the fittest, any of that really, but I do know, as you probably do, that 9 times out of 10, horror movie characters make really stupid decisions. Like, it's just common sense. Don't go upstairs when there's a killer in the house when you're right next to the front door. You can leave. Just leave. On the other hand, I know I'm not invincible. There are definitely a lot of movies I watch where I'm just like, there's no way I'm getting out of this. I would just sit down on the ground, cry, and wait for my death. Like, there's nothing else that I could do in this situation. So today, I had the idea to explore this idea of surviving a horror movie. I've come up with a list of some horror movies that I've seen, and today I'm going to sit down and look through them and see which ones I could actually survive and go through my mental checklists. I'm doing a rule of 1 per franchise for time reasons, and without further ado, let's get started. Okay, first up we have Halloween. I'm going with the original John Carpenter movie. It's a classic, it's one of my favorites. If I'm putting myself in the shoes of Laurie Strode, Michael is coming after me, specifically because I'm family. As we know from like The Curse of Michael Myers, he's very supernatural, so I don't know, this one's a tough one for me. I want to believe that I'd be able to get out of this being a slasher, like you can just go, but given that Michael Myers is quote-unquote cursed, according to the movies, and the fact that he's specifically coming after me and nothing is getting in his way, I don't think I'm surviving Halloween. I'm just gonna say it. Next up, we have Friday the 13th Part 2. We're going through some of the classics first. I chose Part 2 because it's the first one that actually has Jason in it. The first one only had his mother. Now this is one I have a little bit more confidence in. Like, Jason is killing these counselors, so just leave. Like, I'm pretty sure you can do that. Granted, I don't know if they tried to do that in the movies, but I mean, I wouldn't catch myself at a camp. I've been to camp 1 time in my life, and I don't think it's a thing I would ever really go back to. I would especially never be a counselor at it. That being said, if I was a counselor, would I be able to survive this? I think if we're able to get out of the camp, probably, like, instead of just hiding and like trying to fight back and doing whatever. And also, Jason can be killed. Like, we have a video game that can prove that now. Like, you can do things to kill Jason. I'm gonna say yes, I would totally survive Friday the 13th Part 2. A Nightmare on Elm Street? Absolutely not. Sleep is one of my favorite things in the entire world. If something is going after me while I'm doing that, like, I'm not gonna stop sleeping. I've pulled so many all-nighters in my life, but every time I do one as an adult, like in this day and age, I can't get through it. There's no way I wouldn't be able to sleep. Freddy would get me. Freddy's coming for me. Nightmare on Elm Street, I would not be able to survive. Annabelle. The fact that it's not just the doll is what's getting me right now. Like, if it was, like, just the doll, then yeah, just punt that motherfucker out the window. Like, do what you need. But no, it's a demon moving the doll around, basically, so I don't know, that movie was... There were definitely some scenes in that movie where I was like, oh, there's no way. There's absolutely no way. What would I even do? Supernaturally, demon coming after me, probably not gonna survive Annabelle. Speaking of dolls, Child's Play. Chucky, I would dominate Chucky, kick that motherfucker out the window. Yes, supernatural, I get it, like I just said, with Annabelle being supernatural, but with Annabelle, it's different. There is something that can be outside of her. With Chucky, it's just, it's him. Punt that motherfucker out the window. Thanks, next. I could win. I could beat it. Oculus, one of the inspirations for this list. I would not survive Oculus. I've seen Oculus like 3 or 4 times, and I love horror that is really psychological and it gets in your head and like there's really nothing you can do. And Oculus is one of those movies, like going up against that mirror, no, absolutely no way. I would not be able to get out of that because it would be doing all these mind trickeries to me, and I'd be like, I don't know what to do, I'm just sitting down. I would like literally just drop and cry until it decided to kill me. Like, that's all I would do. Next, Saw. Ooh, no, I don't think so. I'm not very good with pain, I guess it really depends on who you ask, but I don't think I've ever really been good with pain. And being in a saw trap, I don't think I would have what it takes to get myself out of a saw trap. Like, I don't think I would be able to cut off my fingers, or like, I don't think I would be able to have the clarity of mind to get out of a saw trap. So Saw, I'm not gonna survive either, sorry. Evil Dead, I decided to go with the reboot for the series instead of the originals because the originals were kind of based on comedy more. The reboot is more serious and more horror oriented. And again, demonic, don't think I'd be able to do it. Unless it was one of those things where it's like, oh, hey, there's this book. It says these things. Oh, yeah, that's great. We're getting the fuck out of here. Let's go. No, don't touch that book. Put it down. Put it down. Maybe. That one's a maybe. It really depends on if they already unleashed the demon or not. No, if it's like, oh, we found this basement. I don't even think I would be able to get through the basement. Did you see that basement in that movie? It's like covered in barbed wire and shit and dead animals. No, we see that basement. We're either just leaving it or not touching it and getting the fuck out of there, or one or the other, or both. If we act prematurely, I could survive it. If we take preventative measures, I could totally survive it. If we open the Necronomicon and somebody unleashes this demon, I'm fucked. House of 1,000 Corpses. Oh, I don't think so. Maybe, but I don't think so. I don't even like, that's a huge thing of mine, is getting stranded out in the middle of nowhere with just a crazy family just wanting to tear me limb from limb. Like, not exactly a good look for me. Frankly, I don't trust random families out in the middle of nowhere. That's just a preventative measure on my part. House of 1,000 Corpses, maybe. It's the same thing with the Evil Dead series. We see this I can't remember if they ran out of gas or not in that one. Because if you run out of gas, what exactly are you gonna do besides try to get help? Frankly, if I see a house in the middle of nowhere, I don't care how out of gas I am or how fucked I am, I'm not going. Like, there's no way. I'm hitchhiking my ass down that road as long as it takes, and I'm not even hitchhiking. No, I'm not taking anybody's ride. I'm going and going until I'm gone, and there's nothing that can stop me. House of 1,000 Corpses, maybe, because as soon as I get into the house, I'm done. Like, that's it. Like, they've got me. Grave Encounters. Oh, that's such a good movie. I miss that movie so much. Grave Encounters, no, absolutely not. That's another kind of thing like Oculus. Like, it's just tricking you. And Grave Encounters, it's like you're trying to get out, but you open the door and it's just, there's more to it. Like, it's just right back into where you started. And so I'm gonna go with no for Grave Encounters. I would absolutely die in that one. Like, there's no way. I could probably last a while, but I would either end up dying from like the monsters and ghosts that are stalking me, or I would die from just jumping out a window and like crushing my skull on the sidewalk. We're going with the original It because I have not seen the remakes yet. I believe so. Like, I really want to believe so. They all made it out decently unscathed, except for some of them. But a lot of it is just like, come on, man, you know it's a trick. Like, keep your guard up. You got this. Like, yeah, I can totally do that, especially if I have some good friends on me. Sinister. Okay, I guess it's another one that really depends. Like, if I'm putting myself in the shoes of this writer, personally, writer or not, I'm not moving into no murder house. It's just not happening. Now, if I'm already in the house, I think my nope alarm would start going off as soon as like the tapes showed up. Like, as soon as I started seeing that shit, I'd be out. There's no way. There's absolutely no way. I'm not putting my family through this. I'm not doing this. I don't give a shit. Let's go. Sinister, I can totally survive. Trick or Treat. Oh, another one of my favorites. I love that one so much. Sam is like my favorite, like, villain, quote unquote. Like, really, he's just the spirit of Halloween. He's just doing what he does. I'm gonna believe I survived that one, yeah. A lot of the people who didn't survive that one, if not all of them, were just kind of pieces of shit. And I want to believe I'm not that kind of piece of shit. So, besides, I'm usually working during Halloween. So, yeah, I could totally survive Trick or Treat. Yeah, just follow the rules. The Collector. Ooh, no, absolutely not. It's another Saw thing. If I found myself in that situation, there's no way I'd be able to get out. No, absolutely no way. I'm not crafty. Like I said, I'm not exactly that smart all the time. I want to believe that these situations would put people in them in like a hyper-aware state, and that they'd be able to do things like off adrenaline that they wouldn't usually be able to do. But just basis, like, first reaction, I don't think I'd survive the Collector. I just don't think I would. Jaws. Stay out of the water. Like, just don't go with the water. Like, the people in Jaws get so many opportunities to just not, and they don't. Like, oh, hey, there's a giant shark in there. Okay, I'm gonna go swimming still. I mean, what are you gonna do to stop me? I mean, there's a shark out there. But what are you gonna do to stop me? There's a shark out there. I can survive Jaws. Last one on the list, in the tall grass. Yeah, I can do it. Absolutely not. That's another thing that's like messing with your mind and it's dealing with time at that point. There's no way. Like, it's another one of those where I would just sit down and cry and never get up until I died. Like, there's no way. I'd just be done. Well, there you have it, folks. I gotta be honest, before actually sitting down to do this video, I thought there was gonna be so many more that I would be able to survive. But not really. There's so many that just feel so impossible for me to be able to survive, and I know that completely defeats the purpose of this list. Sorry for wasting your time. If you think that you could survive any of these horror movies, please leave a comment below, or just leave a comment if you have suggestions for me. I'm always looking for more horror movies. Yeah, suggest your favorite. What is your favorite horror movie? Let me know. I'd also appreciate if you could take this time to subscribe to the channel, hit that notification bell, leave a like. Me and my friend Tyler actually do a lot of gameplay on this channel, as well as live stuff, or at least we used to before the Rona happened. We'll be back to that once everything is safer, of course. But yeah, if you also want to, please share this video with your friends, any horror buffs you think would like to see this. I know I would greatly appreciate it. And have a great day, everyone. Bye.